Hi, my young movie fans. I am Tom Holland. I really wish I could be there with you in China. My new adventure film, Uncharted, is coming to theaters March 14th. You won't want to miss it. Get your tickets right now. Nathan Drake is a more mature role than Spider-Man.
Yes, well, just being older and having to perform lots of different stunts was a little bit more challenging.
But, you know, there's nothing wrong with being young.
We don't have to cover up his performance with stunt guys. That's really Tom Holland.
Now I can say to my mum that all of that time playing video games wasn't in vain. I can handle myself. I have my whole life.
I got a job coming up.
It's the biggest treasure that's never been found.
5 billion, easy.
I play Nathan Drake. He is a young kid who is, looking for a way to travel the world and find this long-lost treasure in the hopes of finding his brother. Along the way, he meets this Victor Sullivan, played by the amazing Mark Wahlberg.
I play Victor Sullivan, who is the elder statesman in the film. He really serves as a mentor to Tom Holland's character.
Sort of slimy, con man, you could call him, and they sort of form this kind of disjointed alliance where they go on this adventure together, and through many twists and turns and stabbings of the back, they kind of fall out and get back together, and they fall out and they get back together. So it's a lot of fun. There's lots of twists and turns, and they're two wonderful characters.
And he kind of takes them along on this amazing journey from place to place in search of treasure and adventure. So first time I get to play the elder statesman, I was very excited at the opportunity.
One of the reasons I think Uncharted is one of the most popular video games of all time, it's sold over 40 million copies, is because it's just filled with incredible action, two great characters, and it has a cinematic quality. So when you're playing the game, it's almost like you feel like you're starring in your own movie. What's great about adapting it as a film is there's so much rich material there already. They really set the bar so high for us in terms of what the action needs to be that, hanging Tom Holland out of the back of a plane or having these two boats suspended by helicopters racing through this incredible Filipino landscape is just really exciting action. And then the relationship between the two heroes at the center of the film is full of heart and humor. So it's a really nice combination that I think audiences will love.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the games. I played all the games before this had even become a conversation. And once I got cast and I realized we were going to start shooting, I went back and I played the games again and I got back into character. And it's something that I really, really enjoyed. As a young kid, I loved playing video games. And my mum was always begging me to go outside and play. But now I can say to my mum that all of that time playing video games wasn't in vain, and I now have made a career out of it.
I have played the game a little bit in the past. I did not spend too much time playing the game, but I certainly understood the character and all of the different nuances for the character from the game, and then I tried to bring as much of my own personality to it as well. So I could make sure that I satisfied the original die-hard game fans, but also brought something new to the table that I think would make the character a little bit more well-rounded.
Your brother believed that there was a final piece.
But you know my brother Sam? What else aren't you telling me?
You have no idea who you partnered with.
Tom is one of the most fun actors to watch in the world. He's just so charming, just so natural, so real. But he's also this incredible action star. It's like he's a stuntman practically. So when he's hanging out of the back of a plane, we don't have to cover up his performance with stunt guys. That's really Tom Holland that's hanging on for dear life. There's a scene where he's on a balcony like 4 stories off, hanging it above the ground, and that's really Tom Holland. So having an action star that's so physically capable, but also a great actor and super charming and natural and real, just makes my job easier and makes it super fun for audiences to watch.
We actually met each other a couple of times, and then we spent some time in Los Angeles getting to know each other. But this is the first time we had worked together, and it was an amazing experience. I think he's very young, but he's very experienced, and he's very focused and disciplined. And he's also very, very talented. So it was nice having an opportunity to work with him.
So I wonder if you worked out specially for the film, for the role, to make yourself more like what Nathan is expected to be.
Yeah, I mean, I trained really, really hard for this film. It was something that was very important to me. You know, we're trying to convince the audiences that this young kid can do extraordinary things without any sort of, training. So I wanted to make sure that his physicality represented his capability.
A lot of China's audience finding you as hands of juvenile. I wonder if you're seeking to change this impression in Uncharted.
I definitely think Uncharted or Nathan Drake is a more mature role than Spider-Man. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with being young and you know, juvenile or youthful. You know, I think some of the best qualities of my characters are the youthful energy that I bring to them. But, you know, as long as I can do that, I will. And as time goes on and I start to get old, I will age gracefully and grow into those older roles.
So what is the word that you would like to be described by the audience after they have seen this film?
What is the word? Wow, that's a good question. Adventurous or brave, maybe?
Yes, well, just being older and having to perform lots of different stunts was a little bit more challenging. Also, shooting in the middle of a pandemic was a big challenge that we all had to adapt to pretty quickly. But I think this is also the first time that I got to do a big scale Hollywood movie that feels like Indiana Jones or one of the great action adventure movies that I grew up watching. It's full of mystery and adventure and action and stunts, and I was very excited about the opportunity to make a film like this.
Playing Nathan in the film is much more difficult than playing Nathan in the game, you know, because when you play Nathan in the game and you get shot and you fall over, you don't feel it. But when you're playing Nathan in real life and you're jumping out of airplanes and smashing into boxes and falling from ship to ship, it does really hurt.
And Nate and Sully learned that it's hidden on his ships, which were actually left in a cave in the Philippines. And so they airlift the ships out with 2 helicopters with the hope of getting the $5 billion worth of gold. But the bad guys chase them and it becomes a spectacular chase. When you watch it, it looks like a pirate battle in midair, which I personally have never seen that before. But I'm sad to have to let you know that we didn't actually film it in midair. It was shot in a parking lot in Berlin, Germany. And so we used a lot of visual effects to achieve the look of it. But what I love is it's got a similar spirit of Pirates of the Caribbean. And there's this swashbuckling pirate nature to the fighting that I've just never seen that before in midair. So it's really spectacular. I saw it on IMAX the other night and it just looks incredible. The bigger the screen, the more exciting I think it'll be for audiences.